Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thanks for stopping by the channel, and for those that have been following big ball shooting for a while, thanks for sticking with me. I'm back. I know I haven't been filming for a while, but I just didn't have much to film, and YouTube kind of put a stop on monetization of gun channels. It kind of put a bad taste in my mouth. For the last, I don't know, half a year or so, or maybe even more, since the Shockwave style shotguns came out, I've been wanting to pick one of these bad boys up, but to be honest with you, when it comes to shotguns, I'm not really a shotgun guy. When it comes to capacity, I know they have their purpose, but when it comes to capacity, the only shotgun I really thought about getting was the Kel-Tec KSG, because it had the 14 round capacity. Other than that, I didn't really see the purpose or use for a shotgun. Limited firepower, even though firepower is pretty destructive, just limited 5 or 6 rounds wasn't enough for me. So I was in the local gun store, and I had come across this. This is the Charles Daly Defense Honcho 12 gauge Shockwave style shotgun. And before I bought this was really inexpensive. This was $250 local. I found it online actually for $215. I came across it online for $215. Just happened to take a ride up to the local gun store, and they had one on the shelf for about $250. So I decided to pick it up and support the local guy. But the interesting thing about this was I didn't find much online about it. A couple videos talking about it being released, I think at 2016, 2017, maybe even 2018 SHOT Show, but not a lot of review or information about this shotgun. Firearm. And I think I don't think this is considered a shotgun. I think it's actually considered a firearm. It never came with a stock firearm, non-NFA. You've seen those videos before by the Shockwaves, so I'm not going to get into that. What I usually like to do before I go out and buy something, because you know I'm a shopaholic and I'm also like a consumer reports guy, I wanted to find something about it. I couldn't find anything about it, but at $250 I thought I'd give it a try. Now this is just a brief introduction to the Charles Daly. Like I said, there wasn't much online about it, and I really wanted to kind of show you guys what it was about in case you decided to go out and buy one, and actually show you what it looked like, give you some of the features. There were some interesting things that I probably would try to do with this, and if you guys are going to thinking about doing the same thing, I probably want to give you some of the information I've picked up so far. But you know, let's just get into the firearm itself, and I'll let you see what it looks like. I'm gonna do a close-up real quick, see if you can get it. See if I can focus on it. So this is the bird's head grip. It's not the same as the Shockwave Industries bird's head grip. Interesting thing was I thought that this might be of the same bolt pattern of either Remington or Mossberg, and I might be able to bolt on you know, like a SB Tactical brace or something like that. But what I'm finding is it's kind of like in between the Mossberg 590 and the Remington. And the reason for that is when I pull this back plate off, the Remington has, if you look at the back of a Remington buttstock, it's got like a lip around it that will probably fit into the recess of the receiver on a Remington shotgun. And the Mossberg and some of the grip accessories that I found had these 3 little pins that held it in. I don't have a tool to pull this off. I wish I would have pulled this off. Maybe what I'll do is I'll take it off and put a picture in somewhere around here what this looks like. There's just like a nub sticking out here that kind of fits in this. What I found is when I tried both the Remington and the Mossberg accessories, they did not fit. One reason was this trigger guard here is total different shape than either the Remington and the Mossberg. When I tried the Remington grip accessory, the Remington seemed to be, the grip itself seemed to be very far back. So the one that I bought, I can't remember who it was made by. I found it at Cabela's. I bought 2 of them. They were $20 a piece. They were made out of metal, and that would require a lot of machining to get that to actually fit. But what I'm kind of boiling it down to is if you go with like a plastic grip accessory, like a plastic AR-15 stock conversion that you can put your own buffer tube on and then put a Shockwave brace on, Mossberg might be the closer fit. And the reason for that is the one that I had just had the 3 pins. It had a hole in the center. It would probably bolt up, and with minimal, if it were made of plastic, minimal dremeling, because it probably will come up and cover the safety here, you would probably get the Mossberg to fit better than the Remington. I actually went and bought another plastic grip accessory for an AR style pistol grip and buffer tube, and I'm going to see if I can dremel it and get it to fit. This little nub right here, if I can get that to focus, was a little bit wider, even though both the Remington and I believe the Mossberg have this little nub right here on the back of the trigger guard. It was a little bit wider than I guess what Mossberg or Remington have on theirs, because it would probably not fit, or actually it didn't fit in the slot on the Remington and Mossberg grip accessories that I bought. But on this one, it is made of plastic, so again, a little bit of dremeling, if you're not afraid to kind of get in there with a tool and clean that up, will probably make that fit. Now when we get into the receiver, what I found was it looks like it's a mix between maybe Mossberg and Remington. It has similar to a Remington style receiver, and if you can see inside the chamber there, it only has one extractor, and it has close pins like the Remington. Now the difference between this and the Remington is I believe the Remington has a bigger pin in the back here. So if you wanted to kind of modify this to fit maybe a Remington rail or maybe a Remington shotgun shell holder, you're probably going to have to drill all the way through so that the Remington style accessories will fit and put the bigger pin in. And when we get to the receiver again, it's got a Remington style. This is, as you saw, was not loaded. Fire check on that again. I don't know if you can see that. Nothing in the tube there. Nothing in the chamber. Let that open again. Nothing in the chamber. Safety check. It has the Remington style ramp here, feed ramp. I really don't like that. I like how the Mossberg ramp kind of like tucks out of the way, because when you're pushing shells in, and not me not being a shotgun guy, maybe this is just me being a whiner, a complainer. When I'm pushing shotgun shells in, sometimes that lip gives you a little bite there, trying to, when you're pulling your thumb back out. So I don't like that. That's kind of like spring loaded and sitting out like that while the chamber is closed. But it has the Remington style feed ramp. Get that to focus. Decent feed ramp. Very nice finish on it. Open that up. Looks like it's got a chrome lined chamber, and it also has a chrome lined barrel, if I can get it to focus. And we'll go further down. Now when we get to the actual pump itself, again, I took this apart, took off the barrel lug here, pulled the barrel out to see what the what kind of accessories might fit the Fore Grip here, and it does not look that it would fit a Remington or a Mossberg style. I looked at the they only had a Mossberg style MOE, Magpul grip, and it looked like it would not fit. I could probably pull this off real quick and let you see what that looks like. If you guys want to take a look, let's get that off of there. I'll show you. Barrel lug comes off. Not sure if that will actually fit the Mossberg or Remington style shotguns, but barrel lug comes off. There's the end of the barrel. There's the follower there. Not the follower, but the plug in the end. Give the barrel a little tug there. Get that off. Doing this for the 5th time, and the barrel comes right out. First time on camera, might be 5th time having this. There's the barrel. All right, and this is what the inside of the Fore Grip looks like. So not sure if that will actually match up to Remington style Fore Grip, for like an aftermarket MOE Magpul style. But that's what it looks like, in case any of you guys have seen that. Don't know if you can actually modify a Remington or Mossberg, but what I found is, or what I've seen is that the Mossberg has like a barrel lug or barrel nut or something that you have to take off with a special tool. So I'm not sure if a Remington would fit. Let's get the barrel back on. Back together real quick, slide that in, put the lug back on. Coming up on 9 minutes here, so I'm going to kind of make this quick, so I wanted to keep it under 10 minutes. Again, so when you get to the Fore Grip, you have polymer style Fore Grip with a Picatinny rail on the bottom there, which could probably be used for a flashlight. Don't want to recommend using a Fore Grip on this, because that probably would make it into any other weapon, making it an NFA controlled weapon. You probably wouldn't want to do that. And it also comes with sort of like a front sight rather than a front bead. Now, one thing that I will point out, if you guys have seen this in the stores, or maybe some of you guys haven't seen this in the stores, I can find the manual real quick, which normally it's somewhere like right where I had it and then it disappeared. So when I bought this, for some reason, the manual showed this with a flush barrel like this, but when I bought this, it had about 1/2 inch of barrel sticking out with a score around it. And I'm not sure why they did that. I cut that off. And by the way, before you guys start putting up posts about how I might have violated the NFA thing, no, even when you cut this off, it is still 26, 27 inches from barrel end to end. So it's still legal, and I'm only assuming that they put that on there because somebody may have wanted to thread that. Like I said, it was about a ½ inch or so, but it had a score on it, like a deep score where it almost looked like you can cut it off with a pipe cutter or give you a guide to where to remove that. I'm not sure why they did it, but that is what you'll find when you get this from the store. It will have like a ½ inch of steel sticking out. Came right off easy with a hacksaw, a couple passes with a file, and it cleaned it right up. Now, one of the things that you may have seen on this one is that it shows the exposed metal on the end, and that's how the additional piece of metal was too. It didn't have a coating on the end like I see on my brother's Mossberg. It's coated all the way to the end. It was exposed like that. So that exposed metal may be something that might lead to a rust condition. So you might, if you do that, you might want to lube that up and keep that nice and lubed so that it doesn't rust on you. Get that to focus again. But yeah, got it nice and cleaned up with the file, and it looks nice and clean. So decent weight, very nice construction. From what I hear, Charles Daly is a Filipino company, but this one actually says it was made in Turkey. I know they have other shotguns out there. Like I said, I'm not a shotgun guy, so I couldn't give you any other information about it. It is not drilled and tapped on the top. I got the focus, but it does have like the dovetail style. I guess I don't know what we call it, dovetail style scope mount on it. I plan on probably tapping that and putting a Picatinny Weaver rail on it, and maybe even trying to find some type of low profile rear ghost sight that will match up with the front sight. Another option probably would be to mount light combo on the bottom here. But before I do anything to this, anything more with this, I'm probably just going to go to the range to see if I actually like the damn thing. I did grab a cheap, inexpensive UTG. Oh, no, actually, this wasn't UTG. I think this was a, what's this? This is a NC Star shot shell holder. It's out on a Velcro because I couldn't find something that would match up with these two bolt patterns. It holds pretty tight, so I'm not worried about it, and also pulls off if I have to get to the bolts and remove the firing components, fire control components. So that is the Charles Daly 12 gauge shockwave style shotgun. Again, I do not know much about it, but in the next couple of days when I get to the range, I bought myself 3 or 4 boxes of mini buck. I got some rifle slugs and some full 2 3/4 double-aught buck shells just to get familiar with this thing. The mini buck for some reason is only like, I think they're 2 1/4 versus 2 3/4, and you lose 3 pellets. So next time I buy buckshot, I will probably be buying 2 3/4. So I'm not trying to fire magnum shells out of this thing. And to be honest with you, I'm not like, I don't like the ergonomics of this. Like, I think this thing, I don't even know how to aim it because it looks like if I fired like this, it would punch me in the face, and I probably would regret it. So just got to get out to the range to figure this out, how to ergonomically aim this thing without putting it up to my face, holding it out. It just seems awkward because I'm not, normally you would shoulder something, but I can't. I don't know. I don't think that's the right way to fire this thing either. So again, just wanted to show you guys the Charles Daly Honcho 12 gauge. The difference between this one and the Honcho 410 is that the 410 has a spring, what do they call it? Spring-loaded pump. So when you let it go, it will launch itself back into the forward position. And I think that's it. Other than the caliber, it has a spring load to it. And I'm not sure what the price was. They also had one of those at the store, but I didn't really pick it up to look at it. So give me a couple days and I'll be at the range with this thing and put some rounds to it and tell you what I think. It looks like it's a well-built shotgun. From what like I said, from what I understand, guys are saying these Charles Dalys are decent builds, inexpensive at $250 versus currently what I've seen the cheapest on a Shockwave, a Mossberg 590 Shockwave is about $350, and a Remington TAC 14 about the same, and it doesn't even have the extension on it. You have to actually buy an extension, a magazine extension, to get the 5th round in, which will probably cost you another $30-40. And I will get back to you soon with I guess more. I don't want to say review because I don't really know enough about shotguns to give this an actual good review. I'll just show you me putting some rounds through it and see if it actually functions and hits where it's supposed to hit and gives me any problems, and you make the decision on your own on whether or not to go out and buy one of these. So hey, thanks again for stopping by the channel. Thanks for keeping with me. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching Big Ball Shooting.